What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the MMC Ocular Max PS-15 Fraudo, their version of a Swindle. So this just came out recently, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. Now my buddy Pig for Life, he's already looked at this. In fact, he is the manual person, and actually you can see his name right here, which is kind of cool. But that's really it for the box. You get some images in the back. You also get a collector's card right here. Very nice looking collector's card. It's kind of a little bit thicker than the Takara Tomy cards, but not credit card, and that looks really good. You also get an instruction manual, but this has essentially become useless because all you need to do is go watch Pig for Life's transformation video, and that's way better than these instructions. So you don't really need these. You also get a decoder so you can see this like the old G1 stuff. That's really it for the packaging. Let's get the figure out and take a look at it. So here he is, Fraudo, out of the packaging. Comes packaged in vehicle mode. I believe in the Asian market he's packaged differently, but here he is. Let's take a quick 360. You can see some details here and there. You got some lights. You got the tire on the back, which is removable. There are rubber tires, or rubberized plastic at least. You do have seats in here and a steering wheel. And you can also move the windshield, and some very nice translucent headlights here with some fog light detail there. Really nicely looking thing, and the seats look pretty good. You can't really fit a masterpiece figure. Well, let's try to see if we can fit a masterpiece figure in there. So here is the MP10 version of Spike, and you can get him in there. It's a little tight, but he does fit. I don't know why he would be driving a Decepticon, but you can fit him in there. The new Spike does not fit. This is the Hound Spike. So that's pretty cool. And all in all, a very nice vehicle mode. Now you can put the weapons on in this mode. So here's the weapons. You get this rocket launcher, the cannon, the rifle, and then this mounting peg. So what you have to do to put that on is open up these panels. They are very tight. All the panels are really tight. In fact, I'd recommend you just use a spudger instead of hurting your nails. This makes things a lot easier. So get that open. And this panel is extremely tight. But that allows you to pull this open like that. And once you have that open, then pull this apart. And then you can get this pegged in. You can see there's a peg right there. Get that wedged in there, close it back up, push it back together. Everything on here is really tight and secure. Close these back up, and there you go. There is the mount. Now these can fit onto here, so fold up this so you get that end, and on this one you can mount that there. And there you have Fraudo with his weapons, and that looks really good. These are articulated. You can also turn the entire thing, although this is very tight. It's a little bit scary tight, but you can rotate it to the side if you wanted him shooting upwards and away. So really nicely done weapons and detail in this vehicle mode. Now let's get some comparisons in so you can take a look at how he stands with some other masterpiece vehicles. So here he is with the Unique Toys version of Swindle, and you can see they are very different in color. So the Unique Toys is more of a army tan, I guess, and it's got the purple, but it's a darker purple. And let's take a look at the G1 cartoon here. I think we're gonna see that the MMC version is definitely more cartoon accurate, and it really depends what you're looking for. So there is Fraudo with a masterpiece car. This is my trusty Blue Streak, and he looks really good scale. He looks a little big in terms of his height. I mean, I don't think the Jeep should be that much bigger compared to the vehicle. Now the seats are smaller, but the Jeep overall is bigger. If you compare this to the masterpiece Hound, which you just looked at, it's much bigger than the Masterpiece Hound, so it doesn't really scale as a Jeep in terms of the other Masterpiece cars, but it's fine. And here he is with Impetus, his combiner mate, and we haven't reviewed him yet. We're going to take a look and also do the same thing, compare it to Unique Toys. But here's where, you know, this doesn't make any sense. This Jeep is gigantic compared to this helicopter. Now, that is a factor of being part of Bruticus, because you need this foot to be big enough to support Bruticus. So the same thing occurred with Unique Toys. They had a fairly large Jeep that was bigger in scale than the rest of the bots, the rest of the Combaticons. So I'm okay with this, but there he is with the MMC version of Vortex. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. You are going to need a spudger for this because there's some really tight panels. So first take off these guns and take off the rear wheel. Those are all going to be remounted in robot mode. Pull these seats up. Just get them out of the way for now. And then also you can take care of this front bumper. I didn't talk about this, but the bumper is on these joints for transformation. It's a little irritating because sometimes you bump them and they move, but overall not bad. I like the look of it. It's just a little irritating that sometimes you bump it out of place. Fold them forward, lift it up just a bit, then fold them back down on themselves. So it sits like that, nice squarish, and then push it back down and leave it there. We're going to push these wheel wells in on both sides. Now we're ready to transform. Also, you can push this down flat like that. So here's where you're going to need a spudger to get into here. So you can pull this panel open. That's what allows you to pull the legs down. And it is very tight. You can do it. So there you get the legs out. Now you can open the legs up, take off this thing. You don't need that right now. And open up these panels here on the back. This is what secures the legs. It allows the legs to come all the way up. And now you're going to peg those back in. Peg these back in. And then on the front, the seat becomes the securing peg for the front of the leg, which is really ingenious. The engineering on this is very interesting. Alright, so now that we got the legs pegged in, you can get the feet out. So fold out the toe on both sides. And then the heel spur is going to just accordion down one step. Same on this side. And it does peg into the back of the foot, so make sure you get it down at the right angle. And you should have both flat like that. And there are the feet. So now we will continue on with the upper body. So the upper body is also very tight. So you again need a spudger. Open this panel here. Get that away from the body, and it does fold upwards and away. There you go. Actually, you don't need to take this off. Just this outer panel. And let it sit outwards like this. Okay. Now we can start working on this part here. So this is the part that's kind of tight, and you need a spudger just to get it started. Once it's started, you can probably get it. So you're going to pull from here on the inside to get that arm out. And it's very tight. It's very hard to get out. But okay, there you go. And that probably didn't look good on camera, but it's very tight and there's really no way to get it out. You could probably push a spudger in there a little further, but I don't want to scratch the paint either. Alright, so you fold those outwards for now. And now we're going to take care of these arms. So you're going to flip this entire panel upwards. So first, open up this. Fold this inwards. And just leave it out like that for now. Out of the way. Pull this entire front piece away from the chest. That's on a arm. Put this windshield flat and then fold these arms inwards. That allows you to rotate this entire piece. Okay. So now we can start working the arms. So you're going to fold these arms, or unpeg them first, and then fold them out just a little bit on this joint. Just be careful, it's very tight. So, and then fold it all the way out like that. Same on this side. Unpeg it, get it out a little bit, and then fold it around on this. Have them both facing the front and out a little angle. And then you're going to fold this wheel into here so that it pegs in right there. Same on this side, peg it in. All right, next we're going to get this entire head panel rotated around so the head ends up on the top. Make sure you fold this inwards so that it sits flush against there. Fold this down and just leave that there for now. You can take care of that a little bit later. Fold this panel back in, accordion down onto the chest. And you gotta give it a little bit of force, but you can get it on there. It's nice and flat. Fold the arms in and then push them in so they sit nice and flush. So everything should fit in the backpack like that. Okay. If you didn't already close that front chest window, flip these hip skirts down. Those are the seats. On the back, you're going to fold this downwards. Now, I think you want to have these in like that. And that allows you to get this around, and this is going to peg into here. So peg that in. Leave this backpack up. It's not needed for robot mode. And the last thing you're going to do is push it down. And then get the hands out. So fold up these panels like a typical Masterpiece style. Fold out the hands. Put that back down. Accordion this out and flip it around. So you get the elbow in the front. Same on this side, accordion it down, flip it around, open the panel, flip out the hand. And there you have Fraudo in his robot mode. And it is a very good looking robot mode. There's a couple things you can put all these accessories back on. So this wheel fits right here on these two panels. Get that on there. This gun is going to peg right into his arm here. There's a little tiny peg there that goes in this peg hole. This cannon can go in his hand. I guess it's a gun, not a cannon. So flip this open and you get a typical Masterpiece style hand. And that goes in there. And finally, this can also stow away on the back of his leg. There's a peg right there. You can put it on either leg. Doesn't matter. Now you got them all armed up. And all the accessories we had in his vehicle mode are now on him in robot mode. So let's take a quick 360. Take a look at some of the details. These are not the lights from vehicle mode. They're a different color. They've got the translucent blue with the purple on the outside. I like that. It looks really good. The headlights they used in the vehicle mode were right here, and I like that they used different things because this looks better in vehicle mode and this looks better in robot mode. You do have some details that come through in robot mode. All around very, very clean robot mode. It really comes together very nicely. And it's kind of chunky, but that's the look they're going for here. They're wanting to get that G1 chunky look for Swindle. Let's go over articulation with this guy. The head is on a ball joint, so you get all the typical movement. Can go side to side, back, and then goes all the way around. Looks up to there, down to there. You get a shoulder joint that's kind of tight. It's a little bit tight, worries me, but it hasn't had an issue so far. Also rotates all the way around. There's a rotation at the bicep. A double jointed elbow, which is really nice for a character like this. The gun is in a... It's just pegged in, but I don't know, it's a little bit loose, but it's okay. Hand can rotate. You can also bend in and out like that. You have individually articulated fingers, which I do like. They are bent, so if you try to get a straight finger, you get the crooked finger syndrome, which is fine. He does hold the weapon very securely, no problem there. You do get a swivel at the waist. No ab crunch. As far as I can tell, there's a solid piece right in the middle that extends up for transformation. So that's what kind of prevents it from having an ab crunch. But then you have hip skirts here. Leg goes all the way up to there. All the way back to there. All the way out to there. Really nice. We're just going to leave that off for now. You do have a 90-degree bend at the knee. Rotation at the thigh. Ankle tilt up to there. Although it seems like it should have more, and I guess it's getting stopped by this joint right here, but you get an ankle tilt and you get an ankle pivot. Oops. This way. And it's not a lot, but you get it. So, I don't know. That's fine. So, plenty of articulation on this guy. I do find these bits don't secure that well, or I tend to be knocking him off, but other than that, very nice articulation. So this guy does come with one additional accessory, and that's this alternate head right here. It does need to be screwed on, so I'm going to take the screw out off camera, and then I'll get this on and we'll take a look. But before we do that, here is the head that comes with it, and it's more like just a mean regular face for him. There he is with the smirking face, and I think this one looks a little weird. I like the stock face a little bit better. The smile on it's just a little odd, but there you go. There's the one accessory you get with this other than these guns. With the Make Toys version of Starscream, I think they called it Meteor, and I really like the standout colors on the MNC version. This muted version, it doesn't quite match with the colors on this. This is very bright and vibrant. They both don't have, glossy paint, but somehow the color scheme, just this one looks like it came out of a different set. And here they are with the Takara Tomy Hound. Now they tower over him. Now they were both bigger in their Jeep modes. I think I showed that in my previous review for Hound versus the Willis. Both of their Jeep modes are much bigger than his Jeep mode, so naturally his robot mode is much smaller. I don't know if I can find a scene where these guys were together, but definitely seems a little bit big. But I think they need to do that in order to make these guys the appropriate size limbs for their combined Bruticus modes. But there he is with Hound. Right, now let's check out his combined mode, and I haven't done this yet, so hopefully I did the transformation right. But take off all the accessories, just set them aside for now. Take off the tire, and we're basically going to get him back into his vehicle mode, sort of, but not quite. So start putting everything away. You can put these hands back in. Make sure you have them fold them up. Push this back down. Rotate around, push this back down. You're going to have to take apart this whole chest piece. So go ahead and take that apart there. And then you're going to pull these back out. Now, Paik said this gets easier or looser. Mine is still not loose, so I'm going to need a spudger again just to get these started. For some reason they're really tight in there. Alright, so fold those out, fold these wheels down. Just keep these out of the way for now. Pull the chest away from the body. actually pull this up to give yourself some room as well. Oops. Pull his head off. Pull the chest away from the body. Use this double hinge in there. And that'll give you some room because you got to rotate this. And you got to rotate this head. All the way around. And leave these bits upwards so they're sticking out. Now you're going to close this all back up as if you're going into robot mode, which means you've got to rotate these to the inside and peg them in. Same thing on this side, rotate this arm in and peg it in. Now these entire chest is going to go back down onto the body. Make sure you rotate this as well. So now you can push the arms back in. And everything kind of clicks together. So if it didn't click together, then you probably have something wrong. Leave this yellow panel out because you're going to leave this there for the combiner port. Close that back up. Close this back up. And actually you're going to open these little tabs here so you can peg them into this. You want to rock up this piece, get that tabbed in, and then pull this down, and that's going to tab in on the bottom. Really a very ingenious design here. Okay, so now you got that all squared away. Now we can work on the legs. So legs are pretty easy. So open up these panels here, and then let the legs accordion down. And you can see they sort of fold that first one. And then once you get that first one in, then open these up. And then you can go the rest of the way down. And you also have to get this open. Again, you probably need a spudger. It's very tight. I would definitely rather things be tight, so that's not an issue. I prefer things to be all nice and tight. Alright, so you got that all in there. Now you can close all these panels back up. Close these back up. And now we got to take care of the feet. Now I forgot to show something in the robot mode. So you do have these heel spurs that you can use. I find that they break up the sculpt a little bit and I don't really need them. He's very, very stable in robot mode, so you don't really need to use those, but they're there for that purpose. Open up these panels here, and again, everything's really, really tight. There we go. Alright, now you can peg everything back together. Make sure you have this angled properly so you have it flat foot like that. And there we have the combine mode. So he's got that really nice ankle tilt. He's got an ankle pivot this way. I believe this is the combiner port. I don't have the full combiner. Only Pick for Life has that. So we can't really look beyond this today. Now you can store all of the accessories and weapons in this combine mode. So you turn it to the back here. If you open up these panels, you can take this tire and the two pegs are going to fit right there. You take this weapon and this is going to fit right here. Make sure you folded up the handle so it sits flat. Little peg in there. You're going to take this gun and pull it apart, And there's two pieces here. The top part goes on here. This hole, and then this bottom one, there's two tabs there that fit right here. And it kind of looks pretty cool, actually. And then the last one is this piece here. It's going to be on the tab right there. And then you can close everything up. And very convenient. Everything stores back there. Still articulates just fine. I guess it's a little bit of hindrance here, but nothing horrible. It does come back down and hit the foot there. But all in all, very good articulation. So that is it for combined mode. So final thoughts wise, this is an excellent release by MMC. I was really surprised at how good this was, and it's really fun. It's a fun transformer in all three modes. I never found myself getting super frustrated or not liking it. But the only thing I can complain about, and it's a super nitpick, is this thing is not that secure. It kind of falls off. But that's storage anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. That's not even a real issue. Other than that, I have no complaints. Every mode is really tight and works well. It transforms well. It's fun. It looks like the cartoon. It hits all of the marks for me. I'm just gonna leave that off. And I love it. I think it's a great figure. If you were on the fence about buying this guy, I definitely recommend him. Definitely pick him up. Even if you're not getting the full combined set, this individual Swindle is the best Swindle I've handled to date. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.